Hi everyone. I did a little short yesterday, my first short, put it out there. I can't say it was super successful. I got 8 hits, and I don't even know where they post the shorts. But it was really difficult to do what I wanted to show, but I managed to do it in 47 seconds. But I thought I'll slow it down today. And I've discovered this book on my shelf, Tarot for Successful Living. I believe it came out in 79. And it's an instructional book for using the RWS system. And because the little art project that I was working on, that I did the short on, was a layout design for the altar. And I wanted it to have something relating to the cups suit. So this is the card, and it is from, better cover this because there's a little nudity there. It is Tarot de Waite. It is a Spanish edition that was gifted to me. So I was really stoked to get that. I really like the cardstock. And this is the deck I'm using for illustrating the Ace of Cups. Now, when I look in the book here, and it's always wonderful to go back and see some of the original, I guess, instructions, because I think on the front it does say that. A how-to book, yes. So for the cups here, I'll just place this down and we can zoom in and take a wee look. Okay, so there's our ace with the Spanish writing, and it says, cups represent the values in life. The values reflect whether you are finding happiness or sadness in your day-to-day life. If you are happy, then the small problems you encounter are easily overcome. If you are sad or discouraged, then those small obstacles become mountains. And I'll read a little bit more later, but I just thought I'd rather put this together with some of you that I know watch and do wonderful chit-chats back and forth with me. It makes it so much more personal. So I'm using a piece of corrugated cardboard here, which comes from some mosaic tiles that we just put in the kitchen. And I thought I couldn't bear to part with a little bit of cardboard, and it's coming in handy. Because now, and this is just rudimentary, I'm just using some glue stick and craft papers. So if you hadn't had a chance to see the short, if it didn't come up in your feed, then I'm going to put it together for you, which I had to do anyway, because it was just paper and it looked really neat. So what I'm doing is putting the glue stick down, as you can see, easy peasy, and I'm going to attach my paper, because before I do an actual cloth, altar cloth, which takes a lot of time to sew, I'm going to try it with colors and craft paper and see at the altar if I like working with it, if there's any changes I want to make. And this fits pretty darn good, so I'll just have to take a little bit off the top, cut it off with an X-Acto knife after. But this is some pretty nice color. So if I wanted to look for a violet image on some cloth, maybe bring in a little bit of gold, or this might just be enough for the altar. Maybe I don't have to make something extravagant. So this is the next color that goes down that I cut for in here. So I'm just going to, again, I love glue stick. It's so darn fun to work with. Takes you back to school. Okay. Of course, then we had Elmer's glue, and it was a little bit messier, wasn't it? So this goes here. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I just want to be able to use something at the altar. And it's sticking pretty good, and I got a little bit of line there, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it. And when the glue dries, it should dry fairly flat. Right now we're getting some ripples, but there's another piece that goes on top of that. So I've got some scrap paper on the side here. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this because it doesn't cover all that pink area, and I can go right off because I want it to stick fairly good. So, you know, I just didn't find yesterday's video as personal and with shorts. I don't know how many people actually comment back, but we're going to stick this in here for now because I did like these colors together. And you can see it's rudimentary, but the idea is to get it down, work with it, see if I even like it at the altar. Okay, my next piece that went down was this one. And I did cut out some little doves here. And you'll see why I'm doing that when it gets a little further along. So, how's everybody doing? You know, it's pretty tough out there these days, isn't it? So trying to do something creative can keep our minds off of all the silliness that's going on in the world. So this has got to go in here. I scooch it over a little bit that way because this is going to be the basis for the cup, because then comes the stand for the cup. Dun, dun, dun! But we're not done yet. So I've got to put some glue on this puppy. Elmer's glue stick to the rescue. Here we go. And I see that on Facebook they're talking about that Greenwood Tarot again. But I noticed that they're only going to do 100, I think. It's a Kickstarter. They're going to do 100. Hang on a second here. Okay, so there is my stem that has gone in. And you know, I find glue stick lasts. I've even made decks with glue stick. Creating away. All right, so if I zoom out a bit, that's zooming in, Laura. Okay, let's zoom out another way. Okay, a little mishap with the ins and outs and zoom and not zoom. But anyway, I think after this is put together, well, it's still sort of moist, I'll have to put some weight on it possibly. But next comes the ribbons. You know, if we go back to the card, let me find that in the book. You know, we do have ribbons of water coming down. So that's where I'm going with this next part here. And I did label them 1 and 2. And I squared one off at the bottom because it's going to go under a lily pad. And so we'll do that part after. But I think I want to get some of this guy down. I thought about tucking the stuff underneath, and I thought, I don't think I need to do that. But there's our number 1. He goes there for a nice stream of water. And here's number 2. And I'm only going to glue the top, I think, for that right now. And see how the lily pad fits after. So that goes there. Now the lily pad is going in here. And while that's wet, I can lift that up and tuck this, I think something like that. I like the overlapping here. Okay, so I'm going to have to put some glue on that guy. Yeah, and I was interested to see how many people actually like looking at the older messages in different books that they can find. think I'll go something like that. Even do an overlap there. That's kind of cool. Don't mind that. Wasn't in the original design, but I'm not minding that. And that wouldn't be too difficult, I don't think, to sew. So then we're going on to, we've got to have another lily pad over here. And I think it goes more like that. And so if I take number 3, ribbon of water, the way I've cut it, I can sort of line it up with the edge. Up there, that's 3. And again, we have number 4. Yeah, this video seems a little bit more personal than the quick 60-second thing that I did, which was actually 47 seconds. Okay, I've lost one element. Hang on. Okay, so the next set of lily pads, peel that back a bit. I'm going to stick in here. Okay, so I'm just going to fudge a little bit here and put some underneath. Some up here. I think if you're a creative soul, you sometimes just gotta break away, find some quiet time. As I say, escape some of the news and the doom and gloom. And find a little spot of heaven for yourself. So this one's got to tuck under there because he's got a straight edge. So he's going to go there. We're going to slip this underneath. About there. Okay, so we're getting there. And if you knew how to stitch better than I do, I'm sure this could be something spectacular. And I like the fact that this hangs off. That's kind of, you know, imperfect, like some of us. So there we go. And there's nothing wrong with being imperfect. I think we have more fun. I always got a kick out of my mother when she was in the senior center, because she did like to have fun. Lift that up a smidge. Okay. And everybody said she was crazy. But you know who was having more fun? She was. And yeah, she did get a little Alzheimer's later on. But you know, she had great moments that we had wonderful conversations. And her birthday's coming up this month on March 6th. So I'm thinking a lot about her lately. So I'm just going to pause and ponder this little piece here. I think I'm about done. Yeah, so there is the card. And the idea was I was trying to create the bird and the wafer in one. So there's 2 pieces of craft paper here, and then I cut out this bird. And I wanted that idea of that descending. So I'm going to stick that in round about where it was. Got some glue on that puppy. See, there's the little birdie. Head down, wings up. And I think I want a little overlap of the colors there. I think that's about right. Again, it's a prototype, we used to say in art class. There we go. So that's that. And then I thought, when I was at the altar playing with this that, you know, the card of the day could go around about there. So I'll zoom in a little bit more and we'll take a look at a few more of the meanings it discusses here. So when we've got the Ace of Cups in all its glory, it says the symbology portrays how you feel in relation to this value, which you cannot see, touch, or smell. The Ten of Cups represents if you're happy in your life. The Ace of Cups shows that through a new attitude, you can find contentment. The Five of Cups appears overturned, demonstrating sorrow in life, but within the symbol you learn you must look ahead, not back. And I'm getting that Five of Cups a lot lately. But within the symbol you learn you must look ahead, as I said. You cannot learn anything or have value within your life by sitting still or looking back. I don't know. I kind of like to look back and, you think about what you learned from that. It is in the future that happiness lies. We can hope. Therefore, always look towards having a life in which you are happy and contented. Okay, so it talks about a hand coming out of the cloud, which is there. And in the hand sits a cup with the symbol W on it. And I've often wondered, and I think I've read about it but forgotten what that W actually meant. But it says representing the union of spiritual and material worlds. Okay, it'd be nice if there was a word that started with W. Okay, a dove flies into the cup bearing a sacrament. Yep, so we got our little dove and the sacrament. All right, and from the cup flow 5 streams of water, and many droplets of water fall into the lake. On the water float the water lilies, representing aspirations. So if you were to get the Ace of Cups, it says, this person is applying a new attitude to life. This new attitude is in tune with the laws of the universe and will bring happiness. Cool. So, out we go again with this. Yep, there we go. There is a prototype, and I've got to cut off the top edge there. And since I'm starting March with a new deck, I'm not sure if this will be on the altar, but I'm certainly going to try it and see how it works, maybe for a card a day. So I've got 10 months ahead, and I've chosen, if you've seen the video, 10 stones and 10 decks. And there's nothing wrong with an ace starting it all off. Here we have the Ace of Cups overflowing, bringing joy, fulfillment. And when I do a reading for some people, the Ace of Cups can sometimes represent fertility. And if your intuition says that when you're going through the reading with them, I've gone with it. And sure enough, one lady that I was talking to, she said, I just had a pregnancy test and I'm waiting for the results from the doctor. Especially if you get the Ace of Coins with it. Those two aces together, it's like the gift with the coin, something tangible, and the Ace of Cups, something joyful. So if they've been working on a pregnancy, you might want to look at this card and see if it's coming up. But they say to be very careful when you're doing anything health-wise, and recommendations that way, because a doctor knows far more than we do. We're just using our intuition. Well, I hope that was a little bit more intimate than that 40-second video that I did, but it was a learning experience. And I also learned that you can't change the little picture, that thumbnail in those videos unless you do it through the app. And that's another step forward yet that I have to take. So rather than bore you to tears, I hope you had some fun with this. And this is Craigie Brook Witchery, and we'll catch you back here another time.